Welcome to this presentation of Part 2, the Regenerative City of the Environmental Sustainability Planning Guidelines. My name is Scott Edmondson, a certified planner and author of this part of the guidelines, which was prepared by the APA International Division's Ukraine Rebuilding Action Group. Part 2, Regenerative City, summarizes an emerging approach to sustainability planning that holds the promise of effectively responding to the defining twin 21st century challenges of accelerating climate change and unsustainability.
How to build back, that is the approach, matters. Why? As we know, in the 21st century, humanity faces two accelerating, interrelated trends and defining challenges: climate change and sustainability. How we respond matters, and how quickly we respond matters. Ukraine faces a choice in how to build back better and what to build. That choice will affect the extent of prosperity in the face of these 21st century trends. The purpose of the guidelines, Part 2, the Regenerative City, is to illuminate a new, emerging approach, a new response option, with the potential to respond effectively to both challenges simultaneously. This new approach is intended for use with current best technical practices for specific environmental topics highlighted in Guidelines Part 3. In building back better, Ukraine has an opportunity to become a global beacon of 21st century sustainability success and prosperity. It can leapfrog to climate change and sustainability success by rebuilding a regenerative built environment that is also the core foundation of the circular ecological economy of sustainability. It can produce a regenerative built environment by shifting to a regenerative city approach, Guidelines Part 2, and by using all the best practices of green planning and design, Guidelines Part 3. In so doing, Ukraine becomes a global beacon of sustainability success, responding effectively to the 21st century's twin challenges of accelerating climate change and unsustainability. Regenerative city is a better phrase and approach to planning and producing the sustainable city because it has higher definitional value, it reveals the operational principle of sustainability, regeneration, living systems regeneration in particular. This nascent approach is emerging from innovation in the planning, design, and sustainability practices over the past 20+ years, attempting to achieve sustainability. It needs cultivation, development, and scaling quickly. It has two parts: a general method, more technically referred to as regenerative systems sustainability, and second, applications to specific domains and practices. It becomes regenerative urbanism when applied to urban and regional planning. A regenerative systems sustainability approach, that is regenerative city, has the potential for success. It produces full system sustainability as opposed to part sustainability. Applied to urban and regional planning, it produces the regenerative built environment and larger regenerative city and region, which in turn is a core component of the circular ecological regenerative economy needed for sustainability success. Applied to the economy, that is products, services, and public policy, it produces the circular ecological economy, which in turn is the essential foundation of sustainability, a sustainable world and future. In addition, it holds the prospects for solving the twin challenges of accelerating climate change and unsustainability simultaneously, and only for the price of the response to one challenge. International reports and scholars over the past 20+ years continue to paint an increasingly vivid picture of our sustainability planning predicament. Humanity appears to be achieving some objectives, green buildings, EVs, etc., but not achieving sustainability, as the twin trends of catastrophic climate change and unsustainability accelerate. The options in response would appear to be either act faster and more effectively, or find a new approach.
How can we respond effectively to this sustainability planning predicament? We must address the root of the problem. We must redesign our economy and cities' metabolism. We can do this by shifting to regenerative system sustainability and urbanism, embracing understanding, learning, using, advancing, and scaling it as soon as possible. This involves redesigning our economy's processes and materials to eliminate the destruction of nature at a minimum requirement. Better yet, redesigning them to have a net positive impact that enhances and expands life support capacity of both nature and the human economy.
The task in question then becomes how to redesign our economy and cities to produce sustainability and reverse climate change. Obviously, this is no small task. It may sound impossible. However, we designed the current economy as it is and functions now. It is producing accelerating climate change and deteriorating sustainability. And we can redesign it, and we must redesign it. We cannot cover the whole topic here, and we do not need to. We will cover a set of primary principles of approach and the key role urban planning and design plays.
First, use nature as the design template. Nature is both form, design, and process, economy. Mimic it. Use its regenerative life support system principles, materials, and processes. Shift from producing part sustainability to system sustainability as our basic approach. Part sustainability, that is producing electric vehicles, green buildings, etc., have a few sustainability characteristics, but many characteristics will continue destroying nature. In system sustainability, parts have no characteristics that destroy nature. They enhance and expand the life support capacity of both nature and the human economy. These moves begin to create the new circular ecological economy that sustainability requires. Second, plan and design to regenerative system sustainability performance imperatives, not the goals of sustainability as usual. Shift from using the goals of part sustainability with their net negative effects to using the performance imperatives of regenerative system sustainability. Use them as North Stars to produce whole system sustainability. Plan, design, and innovate to those systems performance imperatives and take the biggest steps possible with each new plan, project, product, and service, and with each act of maintenance, repair, renovation, and replacement. The imperatives are as follows: 100% renewable energy economy, solar mostly, 100% organic food production, no waste by design, 100% continuous material cycling by design, no destruction of nature and only reinvestment and enhancement, making decisions based on full costs and benefits, and pursuing them to the extent possible in each case. Third, create regenerative built environments. Use a regenerative city approach to plan, design, and create them. They produce the urban metabolism of sustainability, which in turn is the foundation of sustainable cities, which in turn is a core component of the ecological economies of sustainability. And as an added benefit, they catalyze an ongoing transition to sustainability throughout the city and economy. The work can begin by using all of the green building and design practices developed from innovation to date, then incorporate them into and extend them using the newly emerging regenerative city approach. Specify and innovate to the new design configurations to achieve the highest imperatives performance attainable in each case. Additional tasks of creating regenerative built environments include: pursue ongoing innovation to bridge the gap to system sustainability. Apply it in all maintenance, repair, and replacement decisions, beginning now. Don't forget the existing built environment. Upgrade it too. And use the best approach practices, BAPs, to shift from the old to the new approach, which we will now review in the next section. This section concludes with these key points. Creating regenerative built environments creates the foundation of the sustainable city and the foundation of the sustainability economy in turn. This point is a game changer for urban planning and design. It dramatically increases their value from their traditional and optional value of land use efficiency and design aesthetics, which are often valued engineered out or never included, to creating the economics of sustainability, which is the basis for creating inclusive prosperity and community well-being. In addition, it dramatically changes the role and increases the value of planning and design and urban planners and designers. They become society's expert professionals in delivering sustainability, a role and expertise that needs to be advanced.
In this next section, we briefly review the best approach practices for regenerative city planning. They are the practices needed to shift approach from sustainability as usual to regenerative system sustainability and regenerative city planning. These approach practices are different from existing best technical practices used to achieve specific planning functions. These cross-cutting approach practices are used in each substantive area of planning, along with the area's best technical practices, such as stormwater retention, energy efficiency, or living buildings. We will review practices 1 and 2, the primary ones for planning and design. However, we must also use a set of other best approach practices for complete success. Having reviewed the full set of new practices to shift approaches, we will review the detail of practice number 2, plan and design the regenerative city, and conclude with a summary of the regenerative city method. Best approach practices are used to change from sustainability as usual to an approach that will set the foundation for and build prosperity and community well-being under 21st century conditions. Practices 1 and 2 directly address regenerative urban planning and design. The first practice focuses on key aspects needed to change approach, that is, planning and designing to regenerative system sustainability performance imperatives, continuously innovating to ultimate success, taking a strategic approach, and using whole systems engineering. The second practice focuses on the different dimensions of creating the regenerative built environment of a regenerative city and region. Other best approach practices are needed for complete success. Practice 3 focuses on hardening the socioeconomic systems of cities and regions to defend against the increasingly hazardous conditions that will be occurring over the long period of climate system recalibration. Practice 4 involves restoring nature damaged from past practices, but in the context of new nature arising from accelerating climate change and associated ecosystem changes. Practice 5 pursues problem solving across the full system as necessary for each initiative when barriers to success exist in other levels, areas, or jurisdictions. Practice 6 requires planning and designing for the new contexts and conditions that will arise from accelerating climate change, unsustainability, and new nature, not simply presuming the static familiar conditions of the recent past will continue. Practice 7 harnesses the market and legal system to reverse climate change and unsustainability and accelerate the transition to an abundant regenerative ecological economy. Practice 8 continuously innovates to needed systems performance. Practice 9 designs new governance patterns and forms required to generate the decision-making intelligence needed to achieve regenerative system sustainability and a regenerative built environment and city. Practice 10 uses full cost decisions and 10-year budgeting to fully fund the regenerative built environment and city. Now, we will review the sub-practices of BAP number 2, planning and designing the regenerative city. In practice number 2.1, we begin shifting to a regenerative approach immediately by using existing resources, budgets, expertise, and future savings to fund the regenerative options for the maintenance, repair, renovation, and replacement of existing infrastructure. In practice 2.2, we reinvent the comprehensive plan as a strategic regenerative city plan and process to create the regenerative built environment and then prepare one. In practice 2.3, we identify and make the big regenerative context shaping moves. Practice 2.4 extends the regenerative systems sustainability approach from the built environment to the rest of the city to create complete livable places. Practice 2.4.1 extends the planning horizon to 100 years to fully embrace the period over which costs and benefits will occur. In addition, we apply the approach to all the components of a regenerative city. With engaged stakeholders, we formulate a vision and develop the additional performance imperatives of regenerative livability. We use a living community approach and patterns for regenerative neighborhood design. And we formulate the zoning ordinance and design guidelines of regenerative urban system sustainability, the regenerative city. With practice 2.4.6, we formulate comprehensive plans, zoning codes, and guidelines to optimize performance across the primary urban subsystems of land use, density, and transportation. In practice 2.5, we renovate and repattern the existing built environment, not solely for new development. And practice 2.6, we build resilience, community, and justice through engagement required to plan and build the regenerative city. And finally, with practice 2.7, we use modern GIS and geodesign practices to leverage the digital transformation of data science, geography, analysis, and engagement to intelligent decisions via visualization and simulation tools for sustainability planning, design, and construction success. We complete this section with a high-level summary of the regenerative city method. First, we start where we are, with our current green best planning and design practices and the innovation that's producing them. We stop value engineering them out. We include them for the full benefits they produce, principally creating the economic foundation of sustainable cities and regions. Second, we start planning and designing to the regenerative system sustainability performance imperatives that shift us from producing limited part sustainability to producing whole system sustainability, and also develop the practices of continuous innovation across projects and time to ultimate success. Third, we reinvent the comprehensive plan and implementing tools to create regenerative built environments and the metabolic and economic foundation of sustainability. Fourth, we create the new forms of governance needed to orchestrate, lead, guarantee, and champion the complex, multidimensional challenge and process required to produce sustainable cities and regions and achieve sustainability success. Essentially, this presentation is an invitation to sustainability success, to question the effectiveness of the current approach and to make adjustments. In closing, we will review key points, summarize the path of Ukraine or any actor becoming a beacon of success, highlight some next steps, and thank you, identify some resources, and provide some contact information. The presentation begins with a critical look at the sustainability planning's predicament, the limitations of sustainability as usual. It identifies the need to address the two defining twin challenges of 21st century planning, that is accelerating climate change and unsustainability. And then it illuminates the source of the issue as our current approach of sustainability as usual, which only slightly slows impacts instead of eliminating them. It identifies the cause as our economy, its current processes and materials that are destroying the only regenerative life support system we have. Finds an effective alternative approach emerging at the heart of innovation occurring in sustainability planning and design practice over the past 20+ years. It names that approach for its core principle of regeneration, as in regenerative city, regenerative system sustainability, more generally, and regenerative urbanism. It reviews the key concepts and primary practices of the new regenerative approach, and it sees this presentation as an invitation to embark on the journey to sustainability success. In so doing, Ukraine can become a global beacon of 21st century sustainability success and prosperity. This would be accomplished by leapfrogging to climate change and sustainability success, by rebuilding a regenerative built environment, which also creates the core foundation of the circular ecological economy of sustainability. Producing a regenerative built environment involves shifting to a regenerative city approach, Guidelines Part 2, using all green planning and design best practices, Guidelines Part 3. As a global beacon of success from responding effectively to the 21st century's twin challenges of accelerating climate change and unsustainability, Ukraine would be able to spread the success in many ways, including hosting Seeing is Believing tours for government and NGO leaders.